We thank you all for being present at this gathering. This assembly of united Iranians striving for a free, prosperous, and a modern Iran under a constitutional monarchy system. In the past week, the Iranian nation once again created an epic moment. We have gathered here in tribute to their courage and sacrifice to carry their powerful voice to the world. We are in the final stages of a movement that began more than 150 years ago. A movement to build a modern Iran. A movement to fully establish a modern society and political order inspired by enlightenment. A movement in which every Iranian is free and has a right to decide their own destiny with dignity by relying on their own reason without being forced to emulate and impose religious authority as the law of the land under the Ayatollahs. A movement whose outcome will be a state that, similar to the glorious era of the Shah of Iran, guarantees the prosperity and dignity of Iranian nation, not like the fundamentalist Islamic theocracy that has brought only humiliation and embarrassment upon a proud, ancient nation. Since last week, the Iranian national movement has entered a new phase. This time, the people resoundingly rejected not only the Islamic regime, which came to power through deception and an illegal referendum, but also declared even more clearly what they demand: a return to the glorious era of their cherished traditions, a return to the Constitution of 1906, which inherently contains all the necessary capacities for democratic change, reform, and renewal by the will of the people. Dear compatriots, critical and decisive days lie ahead. We must do our part and actively contribute to the movement and pursue what we want for our homeland, and not as in 1979, be deceived by the glitter and empty promises of political figures and forces who had nothing to offer. At this time, we must be fully prepared to confront every possible scenario. We must evaluate global political equations and act as a credible and influential force. Take control of our country's destinies with our own hands and shape our future ourselves through national unity. In every possible scenario, we must continue to organize or to pursue our national interests, democracy in Iran, and peace in the Middle East and the world. While it is true that every Iranian is completely free to hold any political opinion they choose, the political realities and the crucial times at this juncture demand that we carefully evaluate all seemingly different but incoherent political tendencies. A realistic analysis of the Iranian political landscape makes it clear that there are no genuine left-wing or right-wing political forces. These labels are not supported by any reason and are merely illusions. Realistically, at this moment and at this juncture, we have only two truly distinct and actual political fronts. Every idea, theory, and tendency ultimately belongs to one of these two camps, either the modern front of constitutionalism or the anti-modern front of theocracy. One front believes in free, rational, mature, and capable human beings who should be free to pursue their happiness. The other front, however, does not recognize such rights for Iranians. The Ayatollah recognized Iranians as incapable to make informed decisions about their own destiny, who are in need of an Ayatollah to guide them in life and all the decisions. In other words, the front of civilization versus the front of barbarism. Ultimately, it all boils down to this: a front symbolized by Reza Shah II versus a front imposed upon the Iranian nation through execution, torture, and killing by the supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Contrary to deceptive political propaganda, Our greatest common ground is not merely the rejection of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and the Islamic Republic. That is only a necessary condition, but not sufficient. If we only limit our demands to such short-sightedness, we open the floodgates to all varieties of Islamic reformists and lead the national revolution astray. Therefore, we have not gathered here merely to declare that we do not want the Islamic Republic. No revolution, no movement, and no campaign, no matter how small, succeeds by only rejecting what it does not want, unless and until it clearly and explicitly declares what it does want. If we assume that our only shared ground as Iranians is saying no to the Islamic Republic, we will once again step into the same mirage we have been trapped in for the past 48 years. We state in loud and clear voice and unequivocally that we reject the Islamic Republic, and more importantly, we state even more loudly that we demand the establishment of the Constitution law. Until that day, when the people of Iran freely vote through democratic means in ballot boxes to approve, amend, complete, or change that constitution. Until that day, any division among the people, just as it has failed so far, will also fail in the future. Now, after 48 years, our struggle stands on the threshold of bearing fruit. All of us might remain present in this great struggle and never abandon the effort for Iran's freedom, even for a moment. Today, the return to constitutionalism toward building a free and prosperous Iran and to contribute to the world peace and harmony is clearly and powerfully gaining momentum. It is our duty, inspired by our founding fathers of constitutionalism, to diligently organize this national movement. Long live Iran, long live the Shah!
Shah!